are you dating?
Well, right now, for $5 I can be.
In my old neighborhood in Atlanta, the girls, the working girls,
Uh-huh.
they would peek into car windows, and to avoid incriminating dialogue, they would say, hey, are you dating?
I love them using that.
So, Michelle, I finally got you in the car.
I know, it's taken long enough.
Yeah, you know, I've always called you that cat who always lands on her feet. You are that girl. I've seen you in so many different incarnations in show business. A girl grouper, a rapper, you know, an actress,
Yeah.
a radio personality.
Yes. My mother, when I was young, I told her, look, I want to be a veterinarian. That's what I really want to do. And she's like, well, that's like 9 years of school. And I was like, okay, knowing full well that I wasn't that focuser and I didn't have those grades. She said, well, you'd have to kill dogs. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be an actress.
And would you actually have to kill dogs?
Well, if you have to euthanize them, sure.
Right.
You'd have to go out and take a sledgehammer.
Well, I mean, come on, in show business, there are rougher things than euthanizing dogs.
I know, but I think that I was put on this earth with a skin that could handle that.
When did they tell you that you were adopted?
You know, my parents grew us up knowing that we were adopted. I did not look anything like my parents.
Right.
And they knew that I'd get to a certain age going, how come this, how come that? Like, I look nothing like them. I have their mannerisms completely. I am my mother's daughter, my Jewish mother Arlene from Brooklyn.
What would today's Michelle Visage tell 18-year-old Michelle Visage?
Focus. I'll have 18 things going and none of them have closure.
I don't see you that way. I think I see you as a finisher. I mean, obviously you know better than I do, but you're one of those, you know.
I'm a closer, but I'm not a finisher. I would also say stop worrying so much what people think about you. I know I'm chubbier now than I've been. I know that, you know, I'm getting older, but the truth is I'm okay. I'm happy with who I am. I still feel beautiful. If this person doesn't like me because I don't look the same that I was when I was 20 or 21, then that's their issue, not mine.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's as important as the weight that we put on it when we're young. All we want to do is please everyone. When we go out, we dress for everybody. Yeah, we did it for us, but we did it for the attention. We did it for the applause.
How did you get the name Michelle Visage?
Visage is not my biological, actually given last name. It's a shocker, isn't it? My last name was Shoepack, and Michelle Shoepack didn't have a ring to it. When I first moved to New York City, I became involved in the gay scene immediately. I went to American Musical Dramatic Academy, and if I wasn't at school, I was at clubs. And growing up in the time that we grew up in the 80s, teen clubs were very, very big in the suburbs. So I was out every night of the week, and when I came to New York City, I said to my mom, well, I'm coming home on the weekends to go to clubs. And Arlene was like, no, you're not. I'm getting you a fake ID and you're going out in New York City. That's why you went there. And I was like, okay.
Wait a minute. Your mother gave you a fake ID at what age?
17. It was hilarious because it said I went to like University at Texas. And I was such a Jersey girl with huge frosted hair.
Yes, I have the pictures.
Right. And people look at the ID at the door and they're like, really? Texas? And I'm like, yeah, why? Like, it was so obvious that I'm not from Texas.
Okay, wait a minute. 17, fake ID, New York City.
Palladium, the underground, meeting all the gays, and they take me into their life. And Cesar Valentino, who used to be a ninja, started teaching me because they were like, girl, you got this. You got that phase. They started calling me cara, which means face in Spanish. I used to write on the back of my white leather motorcycle jacket from Trash and Vaudeville, got these big letters that say Gara, which spelled out looks like Cara. So I'd be walking down the street and be like, Cara! And I'm like, that's not my name. I don't even look like a Cara. I had taken 6 years of French throughout middle school and high school, and I thought visage means face in French. And I was working with Curtis Mantronics at the time. And by working, I mean sleeping. And I said, how does Michelle Visage sound? He's like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
My goal has always been, since I was 8 years old singing Rhinestone Cowboy, to have my own show, talk show, variety show. The thing about the way I interview people, as you know, because you've worked with me, I feel like I ask questions that normally people don't care enough to think about. People take it too seriously. So tell me about this movie. Like,
oh, yeah,
where did you get the name Seduction?
Right, more conversational.
Yes!
I think that's why people are so attracted to you, because you allow them in on your dialogue and your thought process very, very well.
As far as Florida goes, I had 5 great years there that I would never trade, because I think that I found myself in a lot of ways in Florida.
Do you miss Florida?
Girl.
Do you?
Do you? You lived in Miami, do you?
You know, I'm loving it out here.
Knowing you and the way you are, I can't picture you anywhere else. Miami made sense, but Miami's too crazy for you. You're a much more private, kind of quiet person that people don't really realize.
Yeah, well, and I like to have my time to myself.
Yeah.
I like to be in the car. I like to have a little separation. I always feel like I'm a introvert masquerading as an extrovert.
I agree, knowing you the way that I do. A lot of Scorpios are like that too. I think you believed in me even more than my parents, even more than my husband. And I really feel like you have this kind of sense of seeing things in a
right. Well, no,
otherworldly thing.
Well, in every show business career, you have to have someone who can say a little to the left.
Right.
You know, and then also have being smart enough to be able to take that direction and work it.
Yeah.
So
it's just a want to work. If I'm not working, it's like I don't know who I am. Isn't that weird?
It's not weird, but it's important to develop other.
Of course, which is why mother
Yeah.
is my most important role.
Are you a
anything.
good mother?
I'm a fucking great mother.
But doesn't every mother say
But
that?
let me say this. Do I have flaws? I have a lot of flaws. Do I need help with things? Yes, I lose my patience. If my kid does wrong, my husband, who's the calm, kind, Midwestern Sagittarian, will say, you need to talk to her. You can't just ignore her. But I get so filled with rage and I feel like it's better to ignore her than yell at her.
Right. Or just beat her.
Well, that works all the time. It worked for my dad.
Now, sissy, that wow.
Oh, always fun. We could talk for hours.
I know.
And don't forget to subscribe to
WOWPresents.